Hi crafters and welcome. So today is Saturday, October 25th, and I'm going to be showing you this huge bundle from the online exclusives. Pretty sure it's online exclusives. I don't have my little labels yet. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that with the new packaging system. But this is a die set that is 30 dies and a stamp set that is 26 stamps. So it is fairly huge. I'm bringing out my spots just because there's so many of these over here that I really don't, and it's going to glare off my lights. Sorry, it's a little early here still. The sun hasn't come up yet. So I'm going to do this on white cardstock. See if I have some already out or if I have to cut some. No, I have some out. So white cardstock, and I got out the spots because there's so many little tiny stamps in this. All right, so let's go ahead. First I need to make an index card, but we'll do that off screen. So I don't know if you can see, but there's all the stamps. All right, so let's start first with, how about some of the words. You know what? I'm going to end up taking just a lot off. So I'm going to keep this over here so I can stick them back on to the flimsier sheet once I stamp, because I have to clean them all. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's do some of these with the Memento. So there you have You've Been on Your Mind. Nice little font. Oh my goodness. You deserve all the good stuff. You know what? I'm gonna get my little Cricut spatula here so I don't get as much ink on me when I'm picking it up. Let's see, some more words. We have this one here. We're gonna get a bigger block for that, I think. A birthday for the books. Now, of course, one of the dies and stamps, I think, are books, if I remember right. Put it over there where it's not so noisy. Treat yourself. Oh, look, I already got ink down there. Of course I got ink down there. Let's see, do I have any more words? I have here, here, and here. So down here we have a little hello. Then we have, oops, just for you. And you're the best. All right, so those are the words. Everything else now is an object of some sort. You can see that. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's just start out. This is a cat, so let's do him in a little bit of an orange coral look. maybe this isn't the cat. Yeah, I think that's part of the cat. Where's the other outline of him? Here we go. Let's do that. That's his stripes. So let's go ahead. We'll do this part in yellow. That way you can see him and the stripes. Hopefully I won't get my head in too much. But do you see that? There's your little cat. Now I did it a little opposite. I usually do. Well, I guess sometimes I do the solid first. Alright, so let's see, what's this? This looks like this is just a round frame. Let's go ahead and do that in the Cajun Craze. This is leaves, fronds, whatever you want to call them, ferns. All right, here we have this. I'm going to cover up this black for now. I don't think we'll be using it for a while. This, I think, is another kind of flower mixture. Let's see what it looks like once we... So that's to go on the pots. We have a couple pots, I believe, in the dies. I don't think we have the stamp sort. I think it's just the actual pots itself. All right, we have the books, which I'm going to do the books in this gray granite, just because then I can go over them with blends if I want to add some color onto them. This would also be a great one for all of those inking. While we still have the markers, you could apply the marker directly to the stamp, or you could get your baby wipes, drop some reinkers on there, and have it be multicolored. All right, here we have part of the globe. I'm going to do that in the gray granite also. Put this over here. Because here's the stand of the globe. Press that kind of hard. It's a thin line stamp, so you don't want to press really hard. Then let's do the globe. Do I have a lighter blue? Doesn't look like it. Now, all right. So we'll do a Night of Navy, but we'll stamp it off once. How about that? Oh, my Night of Navy doesn't seem very dark. We'll just go ahead and do it straight. So there's that globe. We have a bird cage. Gosh, this is a lot of stamps. All right, let me take out one of these little baby ones. I think this is, oh, these are the little birds. So they're the birds you can have in the cage. I'll just stamp them by themselves out here though. We have a couple bottles. Losing my blocks. You've heard of losing your marbles? No, I'm losing my blocks. I'm going to do these in the blue too. I'm going to go right over that little finger smudge I made. Right, so there's those. Here we have a pot. Here we have a pitcher. Ooh, that one I should have rubbed that stamp a little and got some of that that manufacturer finishing off. That kind of, if you can see, I'm going to do this, and this one kind of looks a little splotchy. Let me show you. Because I didn't get that finishing off, so that ink didn't really take well to the rubber. So I'm going to go ahead and rub this one off a little bit. Ooh, now I've touched it. All right, so I'm going to finish up these stamps, then I'm going to go wash my hands, and we'll do part 2 for the dies. How about that? Because I feel like I'm really getting messy. Let's see if I can get these. So there you have little greenery to go in your pots. Here you have big ferns. That one I didn't rub off either. Let me, maybe if I go like that with the stamp pad, maybe that'll help a little. All right, what do we have left? This looks like it's a banner almost. Yep, it's a couple little flags, banners, whatever you want to call it. And then another bottle, and I think this is a cup. Let's see. Let's put these two together and we'll see. Oh, I think it's a whiskey decanter and a cup. So let's go ahead and do that in Cajun Craze. How about that? Again, I'm going to kind of go up and down with the stamp pad first to try to get some of that off. That's the lazy way to try to get off that finishing. And there you are. Let's see. Oh my gosh, now I'm dropping lids and everything. Get some of those over there out of the way. So there is all your stamps. That should be 26 if I remember right. Let me grab Yep, 26. So let's count them to make sure. Then I think I will just go straight in the dies. I know I have a lot of ink on my hands, but we'll take care of that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Yep, all 26 are on there. All right. And now here goes the dies. Now, I think I'm going to bring over, oh, that's other ink there. I think I'm going to bring over my Stampin' Cut emboss machine, the big one. And I haven't used my magnetics in a while. I think I'll just stick with the tape for the most part. Because of course we have all of these dies. Let me pull this out and show you. Not only do we have all the dies to cut out those items, but we have the big shelf and the top, and I think those are little like legs or scrolls or whatever. I'm not sure. So let's see what we can cut out first. You know what, and let me do this just so it takes a picture of it so I know how I get it all back in on my magnetic vent cover. All right, so I think I did that long enough. All right, so let's cut out first for the bird cage. You have the outside and you have the inside piece. So let's cut out the outside. We'll tape that down, but I'll also show you, we'll just put this over here like this so you can see what that does. Let's also at the same time cut out the books because they're on a separate part of the die, so the pressure on the wheels won't be as bad. So let's go ahead and line up those books. I'm a little off center. I don't have my head right over here. So hopefully that's pretty good right there. And let's see, what else? Let's cut out that little frame. Hopefully that's about right. What I would usually do is put my head over there and just make sure that that those little dots kind of cover it up the correct way. You know, I mean, I'm going to put tape on that because it's being ornery. All right, I think my books, did that move a little? It did. Some of this tape is probably getting old too, so it's probably at its life expectancy. So let's see. Let's go like that. All right. Let's cut out those 4 to begin with. All right. So let me get out my magnets so I don't lose any of these pieces. All right, so let me show you where's my little gummy to get that out. So there's the frame. As you can see, I didn't do the greatest of job lining it up. Should have taken a little more time, but I didn't. So there's the books. There's your little frame. And me, I probably would have cut out the frame first and then stamped on. Here's your bird cage. All right. Get out all those little doodads. I'm just using the flat end of my take your pick tool, the scallop part. Now we'll take the actual pick part, we'll poke that out. So there's if you wanted to just do a bird frame on its own. Here is the stamped bird frame. All right, so I have all 4 on there. All right, just making sure. All right, let me get this into there. Let's see what we have next that we can cut out. Crafters need a lot of hands. Have you ever noticed that? All right, so we have the cat. We have the little board, the little bowl, the planter. We have this for the world. I'm not going to do that because I've already put it in the stand, but that's what that circle is for. So it's just a circle. I'm not going to cut that out. And here is that bottle. And here is, oh my goodness, the smaller bottle. All right, let's go ahead and run that through. Like I said, I usually would use my magnetic plate, but every time I show it, someone asks me where they can get it from, and they don't make it anymore. They had some manufacturer problems with it, where not only was it warping, but it was starting to separate. And mine just now, after, I mean, I use mine a lot off camera. Mine is just starting to warp a little and separate a little. All right, let me make sure I get all of those over there. So here we have, and again, I didn't get my head in this frame, so it's a little bit off, but there's the cat, 2 bottles, and that planter. Now here, that goes around that. Let me see, those books are different. These are the ferns. This is the big fern. You know what, let me put this through. I'm laying all these down, and then I'm going to have to rearrange. Just like that. All right. Okay, so let's do this again. We have it on here. This is that frame. Shows me how spoiled I am using my old retired magnetic plate, because this is really a lot to line this up and tape it down. I mean, it's not a lot for me, but for you watching, you're probably like, okay, come on, Roxy, enough is enough. All right. So there we have, you know what, I'm going to use my little nail one. Oh my gosh. So what's cool about these, and I just now noticed this, I didn't know that with the dies. Get that little piece out. See how it cuts out, but then it leaves a place for the pots. So that is very cool. So more than likely I would probably do it just like I did now and stamp afterwards. All right, we still have quite a few to go. We have the picture. All right, I'm sorry. Get it over here. We have the picture. Remember, I didn't do the circle for the world. We have the little cognac bottle. We have the cup. I'm not going to do the cup right now just because we have this that cuts this out. But as you can see, it also cuts out a little pot too. So let me go ahead. I'll stamp that one again, and then we'll do that one again. So let's just do these two. Oh, let's do the flags too. How about that? Do the flags. And I don't see a cutout for the birds. All right, let's run these through. All right, let me hang on to those two. So here we have, and again, because I didn't tape it down or use my magnetic plate, they got a little off. But there's the decanter, the pitcher, and the little flags. All right. So what haven't we shown you? So we didn't show you the circle. That's the globe. And then here you have your little globe piece here too. All right, so we didn't show that to you. We're going to show you, let me see if I can find that. Over here on my pile here. So it was these leaves, I believe. Yes. Let's just do those really quick. We'll just do it in black. How about that? Since I still have that out. I'm just going to use my finger to stamp it. So now let's take this one. Let's see, line it up like that. Ooh, I must not got those plates very straight. That was a lot of pressure for just one little stamp. All right. So there, see? And it leaves that little space there for your holder. All right. So it doesn't look like there's a little cutout for this. No, it doesn't look like it. It looks like the inside of this frame could cut it out. Here, let's go ahead and try it. We have nothing to lose, right? So this is, I think it's a little cup for your whiskey. So let's see just what it looks like. because this is a frame that we're using. Oh, and we ran into where's my take your pick tool with my putty end. Yeah, so I cut out the cup. If I'd been a little more centered, but it looks like I was just a little bit off. So I might have cut it out okay, but I would have left a little bit of a rim. All right, so that was the picture frame. All right, now we're getting down to the items because everything else on our stamp page, because we remember that over there, has been cut out. So I'm moving that off to the side now. So now let's see what we have left. And this is what we have left to still cut out. So I think I'm going to switch to some browns and grays and the like to cut these out. So I'm just grabbing a bunch for my little stack over here. All right. First thing we have is this, the actual wardrobe, curio, whatever you want to call it. So we'll do that first. Oh, and did it move? It moved. All right, don't even look. We have lots of little inside pieces that can be used for other things, but it moved. This is a big amount of pressure going through on this. So I'll show it to you, but the top is not correct. The top got a little cut off. All right, but there's your curio piece. Then you have all these pieces to add to it. You have another piece here. You have your top. You have like this little bar. So these are all pieces that can be used in conjunction with that big cutout. So I'm going to leave just those like that because these are the bits and pieces, I think, that add to your curio or your armoire or whatever you want to call it. Sorry, just getting all these pieces over here on my magnet so I don't lose them. All right, I do need my little pokey tool for that. All right. So what you have here, let me go ahead. So here's like a little pot with a lid. Here you have now see there's all those little cutouts, but they don't actually come out. But this is for the top. Like I said, remember this got cut off a little thin. So this would actually go right on the top like that. Oops, sorry. Then you have all these little embellishments that can go on it. They can be like nameplates. They can be drawer pulls, because you could make some of those squares look like a drawer if you left them in there. So there's all those pieces. Let's see. Yep, that's about it for that. And then the last things we have here. Gosh, this is turning out to be a heck of a long. So we have books. We have hanging fern pieces. And we have an actual fern itself. All right, get my pokey tool out. So there we have a fern in a planter. Here we have, I think these come out individually, but I'm not positive. Nope, they're together. So there you have some books. Here you have here you have more books. And even more books. And then you have, I don't know if that cut out very well. I'm just working with it. I think I have one little piece that's going to fall out. And then you have this. I would have to run this through again. But this, you'll poke out all those little pieces, and this will look like those vines hanging off of your plants, off of the shelf. So I'll do a better job of cutting that when we go to our examples video. All right, let's bring back what we have off here to the side. This ended up being a very long video. Those are all those little parts and pieces that fell out that you could make into drawers. Here's your actual shelf pieces. Oh. We have all of these little bits and pieces that we cut out. And yeah, so that's about it, guys. A lot to see. Like I said, it is 30 dies. It is 26 stamps. So it's a huge set. Come on back tomorrow. We'll do an example together using this bundle set. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.